Welcome back to Revachol, my friends. So, we had a big, long chat with Joyce in the last episode. We learnt a lot about Revachol, about its history, about the revolution, about our generation, the previous generations, the various political systems, the former king, the communist revolution, the coalition, the millions of people who died, how none of the communists survived, how the ultra-liberals kind of inherited all the businesses and the wealth and the power as a result of it. And yeah, it was really interesting just getting a real sense of this world, because this isn't based on Earth as it is now. All the countries, all the oceans, all the places all have different names, so you know it's very important that we get an idea of things. I'd really like to get that map at some point, but Joyce revealed to us that this military organization, whose name I've just forgotten, I should have just looked back at the video, but it'll come back to me, began with an F, for something. This kind of a group of their mercenaries, 3 of them, had come here after Joyce had sent word of the demands of the Union back to her bosses at Wild Pines, and they didn't like it too much. So 3 of them came here, and the guy that was hanged in the tree was in fact began with an L. Lenny. Let's go with Lenny for now. Lenny got hung after he supposedly sexually assaulted a young woman. After he had a bit too much to drink. 2 of his buddies are still out there. They're trying to ascertain who's to blame. But they're not as socially aware, socially gifted, socially nice as Lenny, apparently. So they're looking to kill someone. And if they don't find who it is, they're just going to go all-out war with the Union, which isn't good. Oh, what's down there? Okay, so we can confront. We believe that the magnesium, beautiful. We believe that the scab leader is in fact one of them, and someone else is watching us from on high. That could mean it could be Clashy, but I don't know. She's. Because I guess when I first met her, I thought it was where we lived, but it's not. It is kind of where we live, but it's a hostel, right? It's not an apartment block. So she is staying there as well, Clashy. So she's up there right now, right? Yeah, she's up there now, so she could very well be the other military member. It doesn't seem too likely, but you never know. She's keeping an eye on the situation, right? The biggest problem we need to deal with, though, is we need a fridge, because this body is in an even worse state now. Speed train, Kuno, leaving station. The thing is, in the journal... sorry. It says, ask around about the fridge. It says, or maybe Kuno, or some other local kids. What, we haven't run into any other local kids besides Kuno S. So I don't really know who to ask. It just seems like a really bad idea to ask Kuno. I'm gonna do it.
You missed a good show before. A kid came by and completely fucked the tree to pieces.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno!
I have not missed you two. I prefer talking to Joyce. Maybe that means I'm a pretentious bellend, but no, I don't mind talking to Kuno. It's Kuno S's accent just drives me up the wall. Wish I could have been here to see it. Now I've got some questions.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonort.
Do you know where the fridge is, Kuno?
For the fuck imp. Good thing you asked the Kunmeister. Kuno knows a fridge. Perfect for freezing.
Where is it?
Bacon Man's in a rush. But what's in it for the Kuno? What's the return on Kuno's investment?
we're buds with Kuno, apparently. I'm all for it. Gingers have got to stick together. Right. That's a pretty low chance, though. We do have a skill point, or two. We've got 2 skill points. Rhetoric would be a useful thing to put some points in, but I'd quite like. Have we got 2 skill points? Does that mean we've got 2 available? Yeah, we've got 2 skill points available because I wanted to buy one of these. Hang on, is it a white check? It's a red check. Balls. Let's talk to him a bit first, in case any of this bumps it. Don't you have civic pride? I really don't think he does. Kind sir, I'll repay you for this information one day. Right now, the clock's ticking.
Kuno's clock's not doing shit. Kuno's got a fuckload of time.
Don't believe him, Kuno. He just wants to use your fridge.
Oh, we humbled ourselves. I'm worried this one's going to take -1 away. A corpse-free yard, that's what you'll get. Don't you've got any? Have you not got any civic pride?
Kuno's got everything Kuno needs. All civics and shit.
You can't buy Kuno, pig.
No!
Got
That is a modern day tragedy right there, man. And then I would have put a skill point in and it would have been like 80 plus. God, the language I want to use right now would make Kuno proud. What was it? Sorry, rhetoric. I'm going to put 1 point in. $72, dude. This is not a good roll. As someone who used to play a lot of poker and plays a lot of XCOM 2, this is not a good percentage. Because I feel like before I started playing cards and before I started playing XCOM 2 like last year, 72% would have been like, oh, that's pretty good chances. And now they're percentages that I just would never go for. I can't believe I called it and still did it. Come on, Kuno!
Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job is on the line. He'll sympathize.
Oh, that hurt. That really, really hurt. I don't even want to play anymore. This is why I had to stop playing poker, guys. I remember. Sorry, this is a complete tangent, but I was running deep in a tournament, and I lost a spot where we were all in, and I had a 99.5 chance of winning the pot, and I lost on the last card on a 0.5. He had a 0.5 chance. Like, I knew the maths. That hand haunts me. Just like that will haunt me, but that was a 72, so I can't really complain about that. Kuno's a poor kid from a poor neighborhood. Say your job's on the line. He'll sympathize. Am I sure about this? Sounds sort of weak. Kid, this is serious. My job's on the line. If I don't get this sorted, I might actually get fired. Yeah, am I sure about this?
No. It's not weakness. It's sincere. Do not confuse sincerity with weakness. Say it. Trust me.
What do you mean, trust you? We failed the check. Kid, this is serious. My job's on the line. If I don't get this sorted, I might actually get fired.
The fuck are you doing right now? The fuck is this shit?
He looks at you suspiciously.
Don't pay attention to him. Just keep telling your sad story.
I've lost almost everything, Kuno. My memory, my money, even my name. I can't lose my job too. Please. Please help me.
It's not that dramatic. We can just send the body to processing.
Oh, you idiot, Kimmy. I'm working my magic and you just butt in.
Kuno's never seen anything so lame. Listen, pig, if you were Kuno, the fuck would you care?
This isn't working at all. You lied to me, Golden Mouth Man. Okay, that's not in quotes. We're talking to ourselves there. You're right, Kuno. If I were Kuno, I probably wouldn't care. This isn't about me, Kuno. It's about the people I'm trying to help. It's too late for me anyway. If you don't tell me, I'll have to go ask other people. And that'll take too long. The body's decomposing. You lied to me, Golden Mouth Man.
You just haven't done it long enough. You need to do it even longer. The Golden Mouth Man is a liar. He can't be trusted, sire. He only wants to humiliate you.
I'm with you, drama.
No, it's the face blob who's trying to humiliate you. Why does he speak like that? Why can't he speak like a normal person?
I'm really pissed. You're right, cute. Yeah. He doesn't have sympathy for these people, for this dead guy. He doesn't care about any of this. This is all going to go the same way. This is immaterial. Can't believe. I could have put 2 points in, right? I could have put 2 points in. My fault. You didn't like the sympathy route. Agreeing with him's just going to make him dig his heels in. I'll have to go ask other people.
But you see, Kuno wants for it to decompose. Kuno digs that cadaver shit.
Go fuck off and ask someone else.
Why don't we go pester some other kids now?
He says impatiently.
Kuno doesn't.
Shut up. Oh, I'm so annoyed. Who the hell can we ask? There's no other kids here, man. It's nearly dark, man. Couldn't we try and store him in wearing in rags after dark? Kids, Annette. Annette's the only other kid I can think of. I'm seething. I am absolutely seething. Annette. Hello there, have you got a fridge?
Hello again, esteemed officer. And
Oh, whatever. Annette.
I'm sorry, sir. I can't talk right now. I'm very busy with my homework. I have so much homework now.
Good.
You just can't win.
Oh.
Out of the rain and into the gutter.
Yes, child. Child? What, are we Yoda now? You wouldn't happen to know a good fridge, would you?
A fridge?
Yeah, like a big fridge a cop could put a dead body in.
You mean like the ice bear fridge? Man, that's scary.
Yes.
Ice bear fridge?
Yes.
Yes, like a bear, but white. There's a fridge below the building in the basement.
Yes.
With red glowing eyes. I went back there once, behind the bookstore.
She points underground.
Mum doesn't want me to go there anymore. Not that I want to. It was pretty scary.
There's a big fridge there.
Yes.
One more thing. How do I get inside?
That's a problem. The only way in is through the bookstore, but my mum is pretty strict about not letting anyone in. But I don't know, you're a policeman. Maybe you can convince her somehow. Anyway.
She looks around again. Her nose red from the cold. Okay, maybe it was a blessing in disguise. Maybe we didn't need to be helped by the ginger twins of Beelzebub outside. So, what are you doing now?
Math. It's really difficult.
Maths.
Like, really. They say you need it to get rich. Better than standing outside in the cold, I guess.
Exactly, Annette. Exactly.
Oh, I found something while you were away.
What is it? Suddenly she smiles and perks up.
I thought this would fit you. Like, thanks for helping out.
Oh.
Not me. The city, I mean. Like a detective does.
She gives you a hat almost exactly like the one Dick Mullen wears on the covers. Wait, where did you get it? It's a fedora? A detective hat? Okay, I get it. I can look just like Dick Mullen, except I'm an actual police officer. Where did you get it from, Annette?
Just what Dick Mullen would ask. I got it from behind the curtains. I'm not really supposed to go there.
She lowers her voice. It's a fedora.
Maybe. It's the hat Dick Mullen wears all the time. He'll look way more serious with that.
She grins with joy.
Right, I have to get back to my homework now.
Oh.
Before Mum notices. Man, this is hard.
She looks back at the infernal scribblings under her nose. Oh, Annette's lovely. Thank you, Annette, for the help. Right, now, let's see what this increases. Oh, encyclopedia or perception? Our perception's at what, 5? Yeah, couldn't hurt. That hat looks a bit silly anyway. Although we are wearing a white shirt tucked into blue jeans. I mean, and we've got cleaning gloves on. We need the interfacing though. Okay, so we've still got 1 point. I'm going to leave it there in case we need it while we talk to Annette's mum. What's her name?
Hello again, esteemed
Plaisance.
officer, and welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
She might let us do it if we buy a book. I don't know. I was told there's a huge fridge in the building's cellar. Can you lead me there?
A fridge? No, I don't know anything about a fridge. Aren't you interested in books?
She nods at the bookshelves.
For whatever reason, she's lying to you about the fridge. Seems like you have to find your own way to the cellar.
Seriously? What if I want to buy a book?
Goodness, you were already doing good, browsing the shelves. Why'd you stop? Don't you feel compelled? Go! Get back there.
All
She
right.
smiles and
All right. Maybe if we buy a book, it'll loosen her up a bit. The book collects the national receipts of Arda. They're all about lake trout. Check out the fridge in the commercial building across from the Whirling.
you see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Cage-like trinket.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Examine the trinket.
You see some kind of charm, an irregular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you.
Okay. Some sort of shrine?
Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there is nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you.
Shopkeeper.
Nothing. Now please go back to browsing the books. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about.
Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become.
I'm going to try and buy a book and see where that gets me. Okay. We've not been up here anyway. Let's just check the green dots first. A quaint picture book brochure. Brochure, very colourful. It's a tome of fascist magic, rather candid. Okay, these all have dialogue. Another boring book, just discarded here. I really wanted to buy another one of these, but we might need it, because I wanted to do Kingdom of Conscience, because that sounds like it's going to bump our empathy, and if our empathy is just like unstoppable, that's really what I'd like. These look like board games.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people.
Paranormal
There's
books.
also a wide range of paranatural literature.
Let's have a look through.
Amidst the various books, you find one written by someone named Matthias W. Dundas. It's about wholeness, unity, balance.
About Buddhist teachings or whatever the equivalent in this world universe is.
The point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice in situations where they don't have access to paid health services.
Oh, that's not great. Medicinal advice? And how does that work?
It serves platitudes, while also telling everyone that traditional medicine, the kind people don't have access to, and which costs more than this book, is garbage, and would only give you cancer anyway, without even curing your cold or anything. Wholeness, unity, balance, on the other hand, can basically take care of anything. Though it is important to note,
That is such a cynical way of interpreting a wholeness, unity, and balance thing.
when it's up to your mind to heal yourself, then it's because of your mind that you're ill in the first place.
This is such contrarian. Like, this is such a stupid way of interpreting this, man. I had to write. I wrote quite a lengthy paper on mindfulness at university. It's not, and that's like, I don't know. Let's see where this goes. It's provoking me. Does the book say anything else?
The book features chapters on topics such as how to find magnesium. It even lists plants you can harvest magnesium from. How to continue drinking if you're an alcoholic who has destroyed his liver. And there's even a chapter on the ancient Seraise tradition of using duck gallbladder preservatives to treat and prevent sexually transmitted diseases. Pre and post factum apply. Nothing worth buying.
Yeah, so that's not wholeness, unity, and balance, is it? This is just alternative medicine.
This is just mundane garbage. What's even paranatural about this?
Yeah, let's find something truly otherworldly.
The throbbing in your head increases with every passing moment you gaze at this shelf. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The title of it reads, Medicinal Purposes of the Pale.
What is the pale?
The book contains very little explanation on the matter. This knowledge seems to be taken for granted.
The pale. The pale, the dead, the pale skinned. A corpse? What's it about?
The book contains descriptions of various pseudoscientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies involving the pale, also known as le territoire.
Territory.
For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom, made from the leafy twigs of a young birch tree from the near pale.
Salvation through suffering. Like flagellate is, what is it called? Flagellation? Flagging? Like when someone whips themselves. Because it, like, you know, like, there was a bit in a Plague Tale in, oh, this is going to be a spoiler. Oh, never mind. But, you know, you might whip yourself because of the ills of society to, like, apologize to God through your suffering. Because you believe, that if a society's become, like, immoral and corrupt and you're, like, a servant of God, you might self-flagellate to try and atone for everyone else's sins, I think. So, yeah, sounds painful.
It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation.
And what else?
It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pale. Readers are instructed to cover these jars in a shallow hole just inside the pale and leave them there for 30 to 60 days, depending on the potency desired.
And what does this pale aged liquor do?
Among other benefits, it is alleged to restore a damaged liver to perfect health.
Huh. How does that work?
Is it any more improbable than anything else that human beings put their faith in?
Fair enough. What else is in there?
For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged to take regular strolls through the Pale, though a sidebar cautions readers to limit each stroll to less than an hour. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if the perambulator performs this ritual in the nude.
Nudity
figures prominently in a number of these prescriptions.
Fair enough.
This is exactly what you need.
Anything else?
There's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations.
There's no marriage to speak of, so...
You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
$4.20? Oh, come on, dude. I'm so close to paying. I'm not even going back to the hostel tonight, I don't think. I think I'm going to pull an all-nighter. We've got plenty of healing stuff. So, what I mean is we don't necessarily need this cash. Let's have a look at the other books first. But we need to buy something in case it helps.
The shelf reads biographies of famous people.
You see a large
variety of names, none of which ring a bell.
Let's not ask her. I don't want to hear her voice for a second. Let's look through.
Browsing through all the books with all their names makes your head spin. None of these seem important or relevant.
Okay.
It's all just vapid egoism.
Fair enough.
Suddenly, a particularly odd title catches your eye. It reads, High Speed Love, the tragic true love story of Jacob Irv and Alfie Delatraz, by one Cecilia Averbrook.
What's that about?
High Speed Love chronicles the romance between two of the finest tip-top tourney racers in history. One of them is the madcap driver, Jacob Irv. His blonde mane graces the cover. Next to Irv's life story, you see a slim biography of an Occidental rock star called the Anti-Star. He's famous for shooting morphine into one of his eyeballs and cocaine into the other.
Jesus.
Next to that, Revacholian radio personality Guillaume Bevy stands in front of a rundown drug den. He's a permanent fixture on Channel 8, reporting on real-life crime and ruining cops' days.
Well, I'm trying to think what the biochemical interaction between morphine and cocaine would be like. Surely that would be a bit of a contradiction, because cocaine increases your dopamine sensitivity, whereas I don't know. I don't know if morphine would interact with that too well. I'm not too sure about how. Because the thing that scared the life out of me with cocaine when I learnt about it, in terms of the brain, is why I think that so many like celebrities from the 80s end up like being like properly depressed, is because like cocaine completely screws up your dopamine function, right? It just results in you being able, if you abuse cocaine, it just results in you being able to get absolutely no pleasure from everyday life, you know, like simple things. So I don't know how that'd interact with morphine. But yeah, never do cocaine, because you'll end up being depressed at some point in your life, I can guarantee that.
I really must insist you buy one of the books. Reading them is not for free. Do still browse though, but not too long.
I think you should be... Never mind.
She understands she has erred against the customer and immediately corrects course.
Yes.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to rush you. You are browsing. Go ahead. Take your time. Time is commerce.
Alright. Let's just have these maps. Oh, maps.
Several maps have been attached to a bulletin board hidden inside the alcove. They're held up by small pins. The board has come loose from one corner. The maps look old and faded. Your eye catches a map of Insulinda, a map of Revachol, and a map of Martinez.
Let's have a look. Insulinda.
This large map displays archipelagos. You see a constellation of small dots on the light blue emptiness of the Insulindic Ocean. The largest in the northeast is La Caillou. You are here. Another far away in the southwest, Seminese Islands, Ile de Fantôme.
What else?
Ozon, Laurentide, Fas a la Mer, Archipelagos, North Arcade Islands, all just specks of dust on the vastness of the Insulindic. On the edges of the map, the color fades into a blur of dotted lines, black and white.
It's always interesting, and it's always a bit debatable when games or fiction have this. I don't know if you call it jargon, but you know, like Cyberpunk 2077, at least the books. I don't know how much the game leans into this. They have like a real language about them, and because of this place with all its different locations and continents and countries and borders and stuff, you have all these like almost they're not buzzwords, but they have the like words that are specific to this world, and you almost have to kind of educate yourself on what everything means and where it is. The largest in the northeast. So the Le Calio is that's the group of islands where Revachol is. I could be wrong.
In the northeast, a dust mite stands on the north coast of Caillou in a bookstore. It's you.
Squint first. Can you see cities on the islands?
You can. On Caillou, Revachol.
Yeah.
A single black star. On Ozon, Fondelier, and Vilmandu. On Archipelagos, Croyan Moran, Villiers. On Seminine, Olduvai, and on Laurentide, Deora of the Seven Seas.
Yeah, what I meant to say is when you have all these kind of words that are specific to the world, it's always debatable whether it alienates people at first glance and overwhelms them, and then they end up like maybe not playing the game, or you know, they move on, or whether it's. I think it's more of a good thing once you kind of engross yourself in it. You really kind of feel a part of the world. Do you know what I mean? You start using their vernacular, and it really kind of pulls you in.
Lost little pearls of light, tiny fires in the dark.
Look at the edges.
The ocean breaks apart into a tangle of cosigns and azimuths, all pointing into pale nothingness. Windy is the north azimuth. Grad is the northeast azimuth. Samara is the east azimuth. Seol is the west azimuth. Isolas, they're called.
Okay. Azimuth? After what I just said, I don't know what that means. Countries? Yeah, because Grad, Samara, Sol, islands or countries.
Connections to other worlds. Words past the Insulindian, unknown to you. You only know you've never been there.
Yeah, it seems like this world is a little. It's such a cool mix of, because it doesn't seem like there's any internet or any, you know, easy communications between, you know, over long distances. We have like the radios, so we're kind of like in a weird industrial era, right? I don't know what this would be the equivalent to, maybe the 70s or something, but you know, like at that point where it's not easy to travel or communicate on to the other side of the world, like the other places in the world maintain their alien nature and their mysteriousness.
You have little idea what they are. Distant stars, gods, but looking at them makes you feel almost non-existent. Whatever they are, the Isolas are immeasurably large compared to you, and very, very far away. Perhaps they are gods, gods of distance and outer dust.
Very true. Okay, so we've got like that's like a world map, this is a city map, and this is a district map. Look at the map of Revachol.
The north coast of a verdant island is shattered by the delta of a river. It is the River Esperance. Countless bridges put the shards back together, connecting city blocks to river islands. La Delta says a great artificial heart in the center, teeming with life forms and construction.
Maybe I should have read this bit when we came in the first time, but I think it's nice to space out the kind of learning about the world, isn't it? Rather than kind of just doing it all at the beginning. Like, I mean, you maybe do that if I was playing off camera, I'd maybe go through as much minute information about the world on beforehand, I guess.
To the east, rolling hillsides, Le Jardin, Stella Marie, the suburbs of Saint-Baptiste, swallowed up into the megacity. They sound rich to you. This is Revachol East.
And west of the river?
Houdon. It's somewhere to live. Not bad. Then there's Jamrock. It's bad. People shouldn't live there, but they do. Then Forberg. It's almost as bad, and much larger. Then Coal City. It's the worst.
Right. Okay, east, the gentry and suburbs, and to the west, the downtrodden. Yeah. What about Martinez?
It's so small you can't even see it on the map. No, wait. There it is, north of Jamrock, the strip of coast next to the Greater Revachol Industrial Harbour. It looks downright despondent. It's almost Coal City, to be honest.
Wow.
No, this is somewhere to be. This is all you have.
Okay.
But it's still something. Streets and sodium lights, the sky, the world. You're still alive.
Let's have a look at Martinez.
It's not really a map. It's a tourist thing. A picture postcard with buildings on it, drawn from an isometric perspective. A date in the upper right corner says 48.
Okay, so it's 3 years old.
Still, it's detailed. Could be pretty useful for scouting ahead. You see the jagged boxes of an industrial harbour, even the whirling in rags there.
Yes, maps.
I'm sorry, officer. The map of Martinez is the only one available. The other two are not for sale anymore. And besides, you could scarcely afford them.
Hey, don't look in my wallet.
They're quite valuable, though they might not look it. The map of Martinez is 90 cents, though.
Let's not ask why it's so cheap. That's a rookie mistake. You seem to underestimate my resources, but sure, okay.
Yes, yes. Are you interested or not?
Oh. No, she needs to see us buy something.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
This is the same voice actor as Joyce, I think. I feel like this is Keira Metz from The Witcher 3. Oh, we can interact with it. A worn and torn map of the Martinez area dating from 48. The title on the top reads, Bienvenue à Revachol. It's a bit out of date, as it was originally created by a design studio in a failed attempt to spruce up Martinez and turn it into a fancy tourist location. I think if we interact with this, that will end up... Oh no, we've got the map! Nice! Martinez waterfront. So here's the whirling in rags. Here's the bookshop. Here are the apartments. Here is the harbour and the unions. The statue with all the lorries parked in front. So is this the whole game? We're going to get to go to the fishermen's shacks. Martinez district in the Jamrock quarter of the Revachol zone of control. I don't know, man. I don't know how big this game is. Maybe also, I know it's an open world, but I don't, because everything involves so much staying in one place anyway. I don't know if this is the whole game or not. Must be. Amazing. Now I'm just going to go talk to her again. There's this shelf here. These look like children's books. No, right now we bought something, lady. Can you let me in the fridge room, please?
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Bollocks. Right, so after 9 o'clock we should be able to come back and open this up. What do we do? What do we do? What time are we on? 40 minutes. It seems kind of stupid, right, to just open it up after she's just exclaimed to us, but...
The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
Let's do it.
Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more.
Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers.
Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman.
Parapsychologically speaking, we're done if you decide to open them. I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous.
She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people?
I've heard there's a fridge in there that I need. This is about the curse, that's why you're afraid. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer. I need to get in there. But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the threshold. I don't care. You can't stop me. I'll open them. Alright, I'll think about it for a while. I don't want to throw a net under the bus, you see. This is about the curse? Is that why you're afraid?
No, it's just a storeroom for the employees, I told you. Now please step away from the curtains.
I've heard there's a fridge in there.
Everybody suddenly needs something from there. Leave the curtains be. It's what it wants.
It wants? Is her husband back there? She waves her hands angrily. Man, I'm a police officer. I need to get in there.
Why? It's not like anyone was killed there.
She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness.
I am sorry. I don't mean to be so impolite. Just please don't go there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers.
What
The curtains do seem
hell?
frail suddenly, not robust enough to contain a slippery darkness.
But I sense this place calling for me. I must investigate beyond the
You
threshold.
do? My God. Even more reasons not to mess with the curtains.
Damn it.
Step away, dear sir.
Alright,
Thank
alright.
you. Let's just talk about this first, all right? There's no reason for
Okay.
you to venture into the unknown.
What are you, a coward? Think about the marvelous adventures waiting for us on the other side.
Don't accuse me of that necktie.
There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you, as if taunting you.
She said she wanted to talk, so let's talk. Placence, if you don't have any extra dialogue, I'm going to
Hello
flip.
again, esteemed officer, and welcome to crime, romance, and
Why are you so
biographies of
uptight about
famous
these
people.
curtains?
I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important to you.
Stop lying to me.
Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books.
It's just a storage room, then why do you have that strange trinket on the curtains? If it's just a storage room, then it wouldn't hurt if I just peeked inside. It's not like it's cursed, right? Here, let's mention the trinket.
It's just for decoration.
Bollocks. She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile, then something breaks. We're going to need authority here.
Okay, fine. It's just because this place is cursed, just like everyone said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing.
Foolish bookkeeper.
Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything?
She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. You're superstitious. It's going to be the end of you.
Host of hosts, she prays. Guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the curtains.
Ugh.
Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing.
Okay. How does this curse manifest itself? Why didn't you just tell me right away it's the curse? Have you sought help from anyone? Pushing her? What constitutes pushing her? Have you sought help from anyone?
Yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Simonese mediators. They provided me with the wards.
She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains.
The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough.
And how does the curse manifest itself?
The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation.
A shiver runs through the woman as she looks around the dimly lit store. Didn't they just mean the curse in that there's just no economy here? There's no profit to be made because it's a lower class area, right? The dock workers are underpaid. The company's exploiting them, right? Isn't that surely just what the curse means? This place is cursed because there's no business here.
It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
She peers at the curtains again.
Didn't that curtain just move?
Okay, I'm a little confused. What does that mean? Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles. Wait, that's it. I was hoping for something more paranatural. I don't want to throw Annette under the bus. Yeah, Annette mentioned that the previous tenants had some troubles.
It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the cacodemons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements.
We're not playing Doom Eternal. What cacodemons?
There's something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Lady, all I want to do is bring a dead body into the cursed room. Now, what could possibly go wrong?
Sounds familiar.
Strange, I feel unwanted too. What does it mean? Well, she wants me to leave.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
Why don't you just tell me right away about the curse?
It's not good to talk about the curse, not in detail. The negativism.
She shivers.
It's dangerous. Talking about the void wraiths angers them.
Okay. Is your pendant a ward as well?
Oh, this? No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans, with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books.
The person who sold you all this stuff is a much better salesman than you are. Right? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the lights.
There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with a different inducement spell, for example. It's guaranteed to boost sales. 15%!
Oh! That's why you only charge me 90 cents or 90 real cents, pence, for an important map. I could investigate and see if the curse is real.
Most certainly not.
Oh.
I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away.
What?
Leave the spirits
No.
be, so they can return to their slumber.
But Placence, I have a 5 in Psyche. Wait, or a 6. A 5.
Psychic arts? Sounds right down our alley.
Yeah, it does.
Tell her there's a dead body involved. That will make it easier.
Yes! 97. Get in there. If we miss this, this playthrough is finished. Seriously, I need to get to the fridge in the cellar. It's a police matter. I have a dead body to take care of. I have a few more questions. Let's just go for it. Very high!
Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what world-class perfidy looks like.
Wait, what if I don't want to lie? Mom, I came here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before.
Are you sure? Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before.
Hey! I sensed the psychic emanations from afar. The sleeper beyond calls out. I've returned from the void, a para-detective from a long line of para-detectives. Yes, I've returned from the void.
You're no para-detective.
Hey!
You look nothing like
Wait.
one. And you're
No.
clearly a drinker. Pardon me for being so blunt, but...
The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm.
Fuck.
He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then. Rock her world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes.
I admit, I've had my share of drinks, but only because the spectral realm is parapsychologically taxing. You see, it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. Yes, it's psychologically taxing.
How do you know all this?
Here we go.
I am the Void Revenant. I have the powers to debad all the bad energies.
I should have realised. A pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been mere chance.
To debad?
Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from the doom.
But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help us? Keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us.
I don't know why that got me. The D bad or the bad energies? The D bad? Oh. Let's not get Kimmy involved. No problem whatsoever. Your family is safe. The phantoms are no match for me.
If you promise, good officer, then you might be our last hope. Do you swear it?
She shuffles nervously. Actually, I'm not feeling the vibe anymore. I just wanted to get to the fridge. On my honour.
Thank you, sir. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. The entity.
Oh god. A timid sigh of relief, followed by a cautious smile. Is the entity perhaps called Kuno?
Do not act surprised. You know of these things, sire.
Of course, the entity. I've sensed its presence.
You have? The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I've suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney?
Chimney. Passage between heaven and hell, of course.
Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume.
Nice.
You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it.
Yes.
Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked round. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there.
We being had. I don't want to... Her tone's just kind of shifted a little bit there.
Unbelievable darkness and ruin.
Yes.
What you discover? Probably just office space. And the damn fridge. Don't be scared.
I've got some more questions.
Okay, but please, only a few questions.
Oh, never
The
mind.
woman looks aloof. Her features much softer. Occasionally she glances at her daughter's silhouette.
Farewell for now, book peddler. Yes. Oh, hold on.
You see a set of...
Hang on. Search for the malignant entity. Placent said she lives inside a chimney. Find a way in. We heard that weird voice when we spoke to that other bit. This is the... Sorry to just go off on a tangent. This bit here is kind of the only thing I'm not sure if I like. Because it's kind of telling us what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? I would maybe like to see all this stuff at the end of the game, but not during. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing. People say the commercial building on the plaza is cursed. No business will ever thrive there without going bankrupt. You promised to Placence you'll look into it. Enter the sealed door behind the bookstore and find out what happened to the companies there.
You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Let's get to debadding.
You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little cage-like trinkets, your shadow looming over it like an omen.
Oh! A small terrified escapes from Placence as she tries her best to look away, a round face buried in our hands. Okay, we need the torch. If we unequip this, do we lose all the cans? Oh, whatever. Ghostly silhouettes of hairdryers. Who is this lady? A vaguely androgynous portrait of a man. Sorry.
A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of little oddly shaped trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked.
We've got the key. What am I... what am I getting disappointed about this for? Oh. Knock on it first.
Only an echo. No one is there. A hollowed out, dark echo.
Okay, so because we've got experience of doing it, we get a +1. Interesting. So unlock the door.
After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room.
I'm not letting Kimmy go first. Ooh, I'm nervous. Oh, it's a gym. How strange. Let's walk around here. Smells like leather and sweat. Is this Leatherhead's gym? Kimmy.
What is this place?
The lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. It's an adventure. It's the Netherworld, beyond the veil. Looks like a gym to me. I think this may be Artemitep's boxing club for young athletes. It's the Netherworld, beyond the veil.
No, it's a gym. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages.
Will you get a sense of humour for a second,
I
Kimmy?
doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight on us.
Some specks of dust shimmer in a ray of streetlight falling from the window. Other than that, the room is dark.
It's a good job of shining the torch right in your face, Kimmy.
An eerie feeling rises in your chest.
What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Let's just keep going. I'm sure it's just a regular abandoned house. Nothing mysterious here. Let's lean into this.
Yes, because it's closed.
Shut up.
No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now let's move on, shall we?
Oh, of course. Who better to come up with a banal explanation than you, Kimmy? You're ruining my fun. Sand is dripping from a punching bag. The poster says, Citius, Fortis, the rest is one off. Latin mottos. A shot put ball. Oh, we can sell that. Worn out wall bars, they look unsafe. Is there anything else in here? What do we want to do with this?
A barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates.
Okay.
It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps hum at the sight of these weights. Show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them.
Oh, God.
There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard.
Yep.
Why does it feel so familiar?
Is this familiar because I'm a weightlifter?
No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory. A memory from another life, when you were young and fit.
It's a white check. Look, Kim, it's a trap. There are no collars on the barbell.
You're right. The weight may fall off. Better not touch it then.
What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? It should be a felony. I don't care about safety hazards, Kimmy.
No one does until they get smashed under the barbell.
Okay, we might actually take some damage for doing this, but we might find the collars somewhere and do it. We can heal. Let's do it. Oh no. Oh. Well, that didn't work.
You manage to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. See? See? This place is cursed.
Whatever. Weightlifting is for the intellectually impaired anyway. Yes.
It was never my favorite either.
The lieutenant is obviously handling you.
At the station gym, I mean. I prefer running. It clears your head.
Leave me alone, Kimmy. Right, it was a white check. Just a bit of fun. Right. That's the map. Maybe. No. Items. Oh, yeah. The shot put ball. A ball used for playing shot. Oh, is this where it went? This can't be where it went. We can return it to those guys. A favourite pastime of elderly gentlemen. You feel like you should hold on to this and make good use of it. To sell such a beautiful old school sports equipment would be a sin. Damn it! This was the one that was worth money anyway. Alright, let's... What time? Oh, we're on an hour. We can go for a little bit longer. The hallway is blocked by old window panes and debris. Okay, the music's getting eerie. Okay. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Where's this fridge, dude? Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. Poor animals, no rest for their bodies after death. We haven't seen a fridge. Airship rotors covered in spiderwebs. They remind you of blades. Mannequins everywhere. A naked mannequin torso, strange yellow colour. Oh, lovely stuff. Cashola. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. Oh, this music's gorgeous. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated top layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. More cash. Production schedule filament memory. Huh. The cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand. Its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads production schedule. Note: this filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Fascinating. It's the first time I think that's the first time I've heard mention of a computer. This is Emma's atelier. What is? But where are the clothes that it used to display? Huh. Oh, this is the computer.
This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. The keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer.
The radio computer. Just sitting here without anyone inside.
Says the lieutenant, watching you circle around the machine. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious.
But we are looking for a fridge, and we are pressed for time, so...
Yeah.
On the other hand, it's not that I'm not interested in abandoned radio computers. This is the Ream Civic radio computer, model RC5120, equipped with a Feld mainframe and a Ream-compatible printer.
Let's turn it on.
The machine lights up like some prehistoric animal stirring from its slumber, revealing fluorescent play and print keys on the keyboard. The hatch on the machine's central compartment is wide open.
Look inside.
It's empty, like a beehive without its brood. Some cables have been left dangling, disconnected. The filament you have would fit perfectly inside the compartment.
Let's insert it.
Like a smooth drawer, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, the play key starts blinking.
Hit play.
A bar of fabric right above the keyboard starts producing a soft hum. The sound of static seeps through the machine's planar magnetic driver. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1.
East Insulindian Repeater Station. Have you maybe tapped into the drug network?
Please repeat. Is this the production schedule?
What's the production schedule? Why did you call me Fortress Accident? Wait, what are you, a machine? Or are you alive? Come on, dude. Why did you call me Fortress Accident?
Fortress Accident is the company on whose name the terminal you are currently using has been registered to.
You have any other information about this company?
One moment.
You hear her flip through a catalogue before she reads out with studious care.
Fortress Accident SCA produces revolutionary interactive call-in radio games. That's what the catalogue says.
And what's that? This interactive call-in radio game?
Any other questions?
The static drowns her response. You hear her ask when the connection finally improves. What is the production schedule?
The filament you have inserted into the reader.
You mean that glowing thing?
Yes. Is that the production schedule?
Yes.
Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
Can you give me a hint?
No.
I don't know.
Received. I will register this login attempt.
Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
I should have looked around.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today?
That's all for now.
Thank you, and goodbye.
I'll go and look around for a password. The old lady's voice disappearing along with the staff.
Tiles on the cube are still smouldering, casting the framework in a soft glow. Fluorescent play and print keys shine on the keyboard.
Right. Let's look around. Let's look at this chalkboard.
Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches, and schemes like some ancient cave mural.
Yeah.
Some of the writing has faded with age, but you can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board.
So look at the drawings.
These lithe, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic.
Okay.
Translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even ether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space.
Elves.
Who are all those creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind?
This is their version of Lord of the Rings. An elf with a beard. How ridiculous.
One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however.
Examine the welkin.
It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin, his face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist. The note says, all non-welkin races will be purged.
Oh, okay. Metaphor for all this racial superiority nonsense we've been hearing from some of the dock workers and from the lorry driver.
The Haldor, the Twarg, the humans, and even headless men, all of them purged. Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all.
An inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures.
Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. Whisper. One of them is a welkin supremacist. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the welkins. Yeah. One of them's a welkin supremacist.
Mm-hmm. Political commentary.
Yep.
That one has a great beard, too.
The lieutenant nods at the welkin's facial hair. I mean, why would they spend so much time on this? I guess it's a metaphor for someone's ideology.
Some people really like building a world, I
True.
think. Even if it's just for a game.
Yeah. And who are they?
This looks like concept art for a project. It's not really real.
Could be something insidious, though, to imply this racial superiority through some sort of fiction, right? Well, it's been an educational.
Just look at those details. So much effort.
And for what? All gone.
Let's have a look at the photos.
The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual night. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees grown in under the snow.
Kind of like the white frost, right?
Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm. Animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers, boreal dvorg, yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden.
Okay.
A pinned postcard reads, "The heat death scenario. A desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as Wirral becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe."
It's just reminded me of The Witcher 3 and the Great Frost and the White Frost, right? Ragnarok, the Nagelfair. God, sorry. Inspect the schedule.
This is a monthly calendar from the year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily minimi, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. It looks a bit like an academic calendar, only much more brutal. Everyone is constantly teetering on the edge of the abyss, an abyss of production. These squares look orderly, but beneath them is chaos, worry, pain.
Game design, basically. Keep reading.
As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region.
A failed artistic project.
Looks like they didn't make it.
The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice fields of nothingness.
A note in the bottom left corner of the chalkboard says, "See the prod schedule filament for details."
Inspect the notes.
The handwriting is only partly legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: "Call in, tune out," "Wirral untethered," and "Heat death of the universe."
Call in, tune out, we're all untethered, and heat death of the universe.
The full text reads, "Heat death of the universe is the new black." Another note says, "The biggest advancement in role-playing systems since the 30s.
Some possible passwords there. What is this?
This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn in blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient.
Fireplace.
A diagram for summoning some time-forgotten being. The symbols seem very esoteric.
What am I looking at exactly?
Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, UKV 123.7, UKV 123.9. Some written notes, too. Sparse and cryptic.
Radio frequencies for what, though?
Unclear. It looks like a cardiovascular system split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced.
Of course. The anatomy of the curse.
Perhaps. The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart, titled the Game Master Frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. They must have had massive air width. These things don't come cheap.
So who's the game master, whoever has this frequency?
Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people.
So who's playing it, though?
Whoever decides to call in to a call-in station, it looks like. A list of names under the stations suggests people across 6 Isolas would be playing. Muindi, Insulinda, Kotla, Grad, Samara, and even Ilmara. All of this is gone, left unrealized. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off.
My God, It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became.
The lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. The cost of air width alone would have been huge.
Exactly. This schedule, I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding.
He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean against his jacket. What else?
Nothing. It's just lines on marble. An echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages.
Now there was another little entrance here, right?
Okay. What do you think is going on with that computer, chalkboard, and fireplace?
Someone tried to exercise the curse using technology. Looks like an undercover counterintelligence program. It's just a failed business. The only question is, what the hell were they making? I think it might be this, because it's connected to all the major cities and it's being masqueraded as a game, right?
No, that's not it. I think...
The lieutenant takes a step back, steepling his hands.
Like he's ready to lay out a fine theory, crafted together like a puzzle box.
Go on, Kimmy.
It looks like one of those popular pen and paper role-playing games. Only these people were trying to automate it, make it work on radio computers.
But why did the lady answer when we...
Utter madness, he thinks, as a compliment.
How are they planning to do that? Has anyone ever done this before? And this was a role-playing game? What do you think happened to the company? How were they doing it?
Through call-in stations. None of the players have to be physically present. Anyone in the world can participate in the game, as long as they have a two-way radio. Then there's the game master frequency that listens in on the smaller call-in stations. I think that was supposed to coordinate the stories, functioning as a master of ceremonies of sorts.
Coordinating so many games would take a whole switchboard of people, possibly divided into sub-frequencies.
Has this ever been done before, Kim?
Not to my knowledge. They make automated games in Graz, Messina, Königstein. You know, places with industry. But I don't think anyone has attempted to create an interisolary game before. We just don't have the technology.
So this was a role-playing game?
Indeed. Those Welkins are a dead giveaway. Role-playing people love that stuff. The world looks like a modified version of the WeWorld board game, with hit death thrown in.
So what happened to them? They just ran out of money and funding?
No idea. They stopped filling out the schedule on the chalkboard.
Wow.
Indeed, it's ambitious and untethered from reality, but...
They were insane if they thought they could do it. It was just a play to cheat money out of their investors' pockets. The curse got them. I see no other explanation. This world is cold and lonely. This would keep it company. Let's finish it. Let's finish it.
It's too late for that, I'm afraid.
A half smile breaks out on his face. Looking around the derelict room, the pipes howl and a rat crosses the floor.
Okay, let's keep moving.
There's got to be a password somewhere. Okay, we've got stairs here. Sorry, Kimmy. Let's go back. It's nearly 9 o'clock, man. I think something's going to happen to the body. Scribbled across a notebook. Developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Oh, whoa. Where are we going? Why didn't you stop me, Kimmy? Beautiful. Two skill points. We'll keep them saved up. I might pop one in here because I'd like to do Kingdom of Conscience. It's only an hour and 25 minutes, right? Jamais Vu's nearly done. In terms of what I want to put points into, I'm not sure. Like I said, I think I like perception, savoir-faire, suggestion, empathy, drama, rhetoric. Those are kind of the things I like. Composure as well. Composure and interfacing are quite useful though, as well. Actually, yeah. Let's pick up another slot because we've got 2 points and we can keep one for any potential checks. And then I'm going to put Kingdom of Conscience in there Our half light's on 2, so that's a bit bad. I don't know if it affects us having a minus. 0, yeah, whatever. Alright guys, I'm going to have to leave that episode there. It's gotten a bit too long. This is like 2 hour plus episodes in one day, so yeah, fascinating episode. In the bookshop, really. Trying to get in, we picked up an important map. We used our drama skills to negotiate our way in here, which I was quite pleased about. We didn't just barge our way in. We learnt about this operation that's been going on here. We're still looking for the fridge. It's nearly 9 o'clock. We're cutting it a bit close. Hopefully we can find it after 9 o'clock if we have to, but there's a fridge in here somewhere. This bear, we mentioned the bear fridge or something is what Annette said, so we'll pick it up from here next time. Hope you enjoyed this one. Leave me a like if you did, and just remember, everybody, never trust an uncrate. I'll see you back in Revachol.